Standpoint theory, in which we view the world, that determines what we focus on as well as what we don't know. We all come from backgrounds. They may be similar, they may be different. We are all a certain race, come from a different culture, we all have different economic status, and we all have different experiences. All of these things are what shape us as individuals in our perspectives and how we view the world. What makes sense to you? Let's use the classroom, for example, full of students from different backgrounds, different cultures, different races. Think of all the different standpoints that are present in that classroom. Someone who might be failing the class or someone who might be doing really well in a class. The social groups we belong to shape how we see the world and how we communicate. Standpoint theory is actually very feminist. Standpoint theory, or feminist standpoint theory, has generated a great deal of research, interest, and spirited controversy, so it appears to be heuristic. Feminist standpoint theorists make three principal claims. 1. Knowledge is socially situated. 2. Marginalized groups are socially situated in ways that make it more possible for them to be aware of things and ask questions than it is for the non-marginalized. 3. Research, particularly that focused on power relations, should begin with the lives of the marginalized. Feminist standpoint theory then makes a contribution to epistemology, to methodological debates in the social and natural sciences, to philosophy of science, and to the political activism. It has been one of the most influential and debated theories to emerge from second-wave feminist thinking. Feminist standpoint theories place relations between political and social power and knowledge center stage. These theories are both descriptive and normative, describing and analyzing the causal effects of power structures on knowledge, while also advocating a specific route for inquiry. A route that begins from standpoints emerging from shared political struggle within marginalized lives. Feminist standpoint theories emerged in the 1970s in the first instance from Marxist feminist and feminist critical theoretical approaches, within a range of social scientific disciplines. They thereby offer epistemological and methodological approaches that are specific to a variety of disciplinary frameworks, but share a commitment to acknowledging, analyzing, and drawing on power-knowledge relationships, and on bringing about change which results in more just society. Feminist scholars working within a number of disciplines such as Dorothy Smith, Nancy Hartsock, Hilary Rose, Sandra Harding, Patricia Collins, Allison Jagger, and Donna Haraway have advocated taking women's lived experiences, particularly experiences of caring work, as the beginning of scientific inquiry. Central to all these standpoint theories are feminist analyses and critics of relations between material experience, power, epistemology, and of the effects of power relations on the production of knowledge. If I were in the classroom teaching standpoint theory, I would have the other students write down who am I and where do I stand, and then present it to the rest of the class. This activity will allow students to reflect upon and articulate how they have been shaped by their standpoints in life. By examining how standpoint theory shapes one's perceptions of their privileges and limitations in society, students will learn from one another and will gain more of an understanding of the backgrounds of each other. Sandra Harding and Julia T. Wood are standpoint theorists who claim that the social groups within which are located powerfully shape what we experience and know, as well as how we understand and communicate with ourselves, others, and the world. They focus on the feminist standpoint and how previous theories have created a ready-made framework for advocating women's way of knowing. Women are a monolithic group, but rather a marginalized group. Men tend to want more autonomy, while women tend to want more connection. The differences in gender is not attributed to biology, material instinct, or institution of women. Rather, it is a result of cultural expectations and the treatment that each group receives from the other. Harding continues to show the importance of standpoint, claiming the social group that gets the chance to define the important problematics, concepts, assumptions, and hypotheses in a field will end up leaving its social fingerprints on the picture of the world that emerges from the results of the field research process. I think Harding and Wood's example of slavery for achieving a less false view of reality. As a marginalized group, the slaves would have much more different standpoint on slavery than that of a slave owner. An example that comes to mind is a scene from Remember the Titans. when we see the black football player with the white football player refusing to go into a diner because the black guys know they will be rejected because of their skin color and be publicly humiliated. But the white guy insists because he has a different standpoint than the black guys do. And of course they go into the restaurant and the man won't serve them. Harding and Wood's standpoint theory focuses on the concept that an individual's standpoint or viewpoint affects their worldview. Furthering this claim, standpoint theory is the idea that our social groups immensely shape our experience and knowledge in addition to how we communicate with ourselves and those around us. Harding and Wood put an emphasis on the connection between the specific times and locations in which our observations occur and the values and attitudes associated with them. An essential point within this theory is that the perspective from those who are less powerful are often more objective than the perspectives from those who are more powerful. Essentially, this is claiming that the standpoints of people in marginalized groups are often less partial than those in more dominant positions. For instance, in the movie Trading Places, two men, one from the streets and other from a wealthy, high-class business lifestyle, trade lives on a bet. Eddie Murphy's character, the poor and uneducated man from the streets, is placed into a high-voltage business environment and brings his street smarts to the job. At first, he was out of his place, and his past knowledge of life were not able to contribute to his brokerage job or new lifestyle because his prior social group shapes his communication skills and knowledge in a different direction. However, as the character became more accustomed to the ways of his lifestyle, his past experiences were able to positively contribute to his new job and the lifestyle of the wealthy elite in a more partial manner than those he worked with.